No, don't let him hang out. Hold on. Bunke.
What's up?
Yeah, do you have any problem with me asking Jin Master, Jesus Christ, TriForce a few questions while he's on the radio?
If he chooses wants to answer. TriForce?
Yeah.
I guess he got a few questions for you. Do you want to answer them or what?
Let him ask.
All right, I guess go for it.
Yeah, get the fucking recorders out. That's all I have to say. Tonight's a really good show. But anyway, all right, Isaiah. You know me straight up. You know, we've talked a lot of times about the fighting game community and everything and what we want to do with it. And you know I respect you for your intentions, and you know how I feel about the Empire, blah, blah, blah. My question to you is, and this is going to be personal, so I hope, you know, you're going to listen to it seriously. What the hell made you thought you had the right to go on SRK and start talking personal shit about Nestor? Because me and Nestor are really cool. We've known each other for a long time. And what you said about Nestor on SRK was extremely hurtful to him and all his friends. And that's really what kind of started the bullshit drama, you know, between Empire and Nestor and me and Team Hate and blah, blah, blah. But I want to know where you were coming from, where you thought you were justified to say the kind of personal shit you said on SRK. So what do you have to say?
There's a lot of people that do things in life, like bank robbers, murderers, drug sellers. They're not justified to do what they do. They just do what they do because they can. Next question.
All right. So with what you said on SRK, obviously you said drug sellers and murderers. Do you admit publicly that what you said about Nestor on SRK was fucked up, and do you apologize to him?
When I was on the radio the last time, I already explained myself why I said it. I clearly stated that what I said in terms of moral, from it being a moral, statement, that it was wrong. However, that's the way I felt because I'm tired of people talking crap behind my back, smile in my face when they see me, and then when they go online, they talk. So, difference was I said it on a radio rather than on SRK.
All right, so in your opinion, it's okay to take a personal insult, you know, something personal that happens out of someone's life, totally unrelated to games, and then apply it to them because they talk shit about games online. That's okay to you. And again, I'm not trying to hate on you. I'm not trying to isolate you. I want to know your honest opinion. Yes or no, do you feel like it's okay to go where you went on SRK when you were talking about Nestor?
When I confront an individual face-to-face, and this person has an issue that's going down at a live event, and we make a business transaction on a live event in front of other people, and you have guys like Josh Wigfall, Justin, Desmond, Mike Mixup, Blazing Flow, who witnessed this event go down, say nothing, and then wait to get back to New York City a week or two later. Blazing Flow makes a big issue out of it. Then you come online, you make it look like I was a thug that forced you to sell your spot on the Marvel team. Like I'm some type of guy who's gonna, like, if you don't sell your spot, I'm gonna beat you down in front of Evo. That's an insult to my integrity. That's an insult to me as a person and my reputation, right? I confront you and you say, well, you know, it's not even like that. You know, it's just that people at SRK was making it a big deal, yada, yada, yada. You smile in my face. After that, everything dies down. Then 3 years later, I make a post that's completely not related to anything doing with Marvel or Evolution 2003. I'm talking about Third Strike and a Team Third Strike for the Empire, and you jump online and you open your mouth to try to make a remark that's going to be on some side slander shit to diss me. Right there and then, that just shows me what type of person Gokar Nestor was. So I got offended. I felt, you know something? I hate this motherfucker. So I made a comment. I don't care if you didn't like it. I didn't like his comment. Don't see me asking him for an apology. And his comment was completely unrelated to whatever I was talking about. See, the problem is people need to be responsible for what they said. If Nestor did not say anything, first I wasn't even speaking to him, and I already made a promise when I came on the radio saying that I won't even talk about this. But just out of courtesy, because you asked the question, I want to respect you by giving you the answer. I'm just going to tell you one more time. If Nestor had kept this comment to himself, because my statement or my replies and my comments on SRK was not even talking to him. It wasn't even talking about a game he even played. It was talking about third strike. That would have never came out. It is that simple. I know what I said was mean and it was wrong and it offended him. But I just told you on that radio show, and I'm going to repeat it one more time so you can understand, I do not care. I'm sure when he wrote his reply, he knew it was going to irk me. I'm sure he didn't care. So we're all adults. He said something I didn't like. I said something he didn't like. That's the end of it. Do you have another question to ask me?
No, but I have something to say in response to what you just said.
Okay.
All right. First of all, the post or the thread that you posted in, third strike, East Coast versus West Coast teams thread 5 versus 5 or whatever at Evo. You don't belong there, dude. And I think you know deep down that you don't belong there. You don't play third strike.
Okay.
You're not a top player.
One question.
You don't know about the third
question.
strike.
You said I don't belong there. Can you explain to all the listeners why you said I don't belong there? Because I'm going to explain to you why I do. I'm going to explain to everyone on the radio why I did belong there. So please explain to everyone who's listening now why you, DSP, deem TriForce not worthy to be on a thread to voice his opinion about players that are actually legally signed to his organization to play third strike at Evo.
Sure, because thread was not about a legally signed event. It was about an unofficial event on the side, not even publicized by players organizing something for themselves. If this was like officially people on the screen, so-and-so versus so-and-so, you do have a legal contract with Empire and members. I know you do. You make them all sign a contract saying that the matches they play and the videos that they're recorded in are your property. I'm not stupid. I know you have a legal contract that says that with every Empire member. But this is not official. This is not going on the DVD. Everyone knew that. And you had to butt your head in and say, oh, this should be Empire versus whoever, which is totally unfounded, which had nothing to do with
Let me stop
the meaning of the thread had to do. That's why
Let me stop you there for one moment.
Go ahead.
Number one, I don't force everyone in Empire Arcadia to sign anything. Everyone in Empire Arcadia signs. You have a pro player contract, and then you have community members. Not everyone in Empire Arcadia signed to the actual legal part of the organization.
Right. I never said. Let me get the record straight. I never said you force anyone to sign anything. But go ahead. That's not the impression I want to make. Go ahead.
Okay, that's why I said that. I just want to make sure that's out there. Number two, the thread was talking about teams for third strike. Prior to that thread, I met KO Fiend, and this is not to bring him in it. I'm just mentioning a situation before and the names that were involved in the situation. So, this is not to get KO Fiend involved in this discussion. I met Justin and I met Issa in Chinatown, if that's how you pronounce his name. After speaking with Issa, after speaking with KO Fiend, they wanted in, what's the word for them? I guess I sold them into the Empire, if you want to look at it that way. I told them about how the corporation runs XYZ, and they both signed into the contract. KO Fiend brought up the fact that there was possibly going to be a 5-on-5 third strike team at Evo. And I said, oh, really? And he's like, yeah. And so far what they had was KO Fiend, Justin, Issei, Exodus, and I forgot the fifth person. But I know it wasn't Flash. I think they was trying to get someone else in. And then I said, oh, that's cool. I said, do you guys have any alternative teams and things like that? And he's like, not really. And I said, well, I asked KO Fiend, what happened if you guys were to make an all-Empire team? He said, I don't know, because Exodus is on the team, and, if they took Exodus off, who would replace them? And he was like, well, or it could be Flash or something. He's like, but that's not fair because Exodus wanted to be on the team. So I told KOF, then let's talk to Exodus and see what can happen. And it doesn't matter if Flash is not on the team or not. You guys can ask him. He said, well, I don't really want to get involved in all that. He said, if you want to do it, you can do it, but I don't want to get involved in that. So I understood where KOF, he just didn't want to ruffle any feathers or whatnot. So I said, okay, no problem, fine. I'll make the suggestion on the SRK thread. When the thread popped up, I was informed the thread was online, and I went online and I made a suggestion. My entire argument on that particular forum, I had to argue like 900 times that I was simply making a suggestion. Now, I don't understand where do people come off telling me that I cannot make a suggestion. People were making suggestions for Team Texas, an all-Japanese team, and teams made from Jesus Christ, and teams made from crackheads, and all types of other crap. I'm exaggerating, but my point was everyone was making a suggestion of what type of team that they could make. I simply made a team suggestion about an all-Empire team, and it got taken out of hand. TriForce, you don't belong in this thread. You just come in here and think you can just make up rules and dictate whatever. And I had to say 900 times, I did not come into the thread and say I want a third strike team for the Empire. I made a suggestion. So someone who wrote I forgot who made the actual thread. He had said, TriForce, well, this is just between the East Coast and the West Coast. We don't want any other team. Then I said, that is fair. He explained that they weren't trying to make any other side teams or anything like that. They just wanted the East versus West. So I butted out. Then that's when Nestor jumped in with some side comment because they had nothing to do with it. They already explained to me already that the Empire, all-Empire team is not wanted. The community want to do it. The players didn't want to do it. KOF even left the Empire. He rejected the Empire contract. I said, no problem. I tore it up and whatnot, and KOF's out. And there was nothing after that. So I don't understand, why did I get attacked after that? I was being attacked for a suggestion. And then when I already conceded and I apologized on the thread, I was still attacked afterwards. Then you ask, why did I say what I said to Nestor? Because you guys kicked me when I was down for no reason. That's the actual reason why. And I don't care if you didn't like it. I don't have to defend myself. Go on the forums, read page 1 all the way down to damn page 19. You'll see who's wrong. I made sure I apologized in the thread and the entire night. So there's no reason for him to make his comment. And my comment was directed to you. I don't even insult you because I don't even know why you even attacked me. And it appears that what you're saying is this, that you're attacking me because I didn't belong in the thread. Do you think that's fair? Because you think I don't belong in the thread? So if someone's talking, so every time I see you in a Marvel thread, because you're not a top 5 Marvel player, and because I have 3 of the best Marvel players in my organization, if I see you in a Marvel thread, I should come in the thread and say, DSP, get the hell out of this thread. You don't belong here. Come on, who am I to tell you that? So if I'm no one to tell you that, how can you and Nestor tell me I shouldn't be using a thread on SRK? Now, do you have another question?
That was a good long statement, and it revealed a lot of stuff, I'm sure, to the people listening. But you really didn't hit the point. And again, the point is, regardless if Nestor and myself and 800 other people don't feel that you belong in a third strike team's thread, what makes you think that you can bring about personal insult about someone who responded to you and did not bring up personal stuff, but basically just said you don't belong in a fighting game thread? And the
answer to that is this:
in
the real world, DSP, if you attack
you're not going to let me finish, are you?
No, I'm answering your question. You're repeating the same question, so I'm answering. No, finish the full question.
Okay. What you said to Nestor was extremely hurtful. It's one thing to say, Nestor, you're not a top third strike player either. You don't belong in this thread. If you had said that, you know what? I couldn't say anything because you know what? Nestor's not a top third strike player. I'm not, and we would have left it to the third strike players. But Nestor is a major influence on the East Coast. I am too. I feel like if we say something, no, our word is not law, but at least a couple people listen. You butting into the thread, you're not a game player. You're a person who
I'm not a game player?
Yeah, but again, you're not
I'm not a game player?
Influence
Oh, you mean I'm not a third strike player?
Huh?
You mean I'm not a third strike player?
Well, you're not a third strike player, but you're also not a major fighting game player. Let's face it. You do support the community.
No, because you said I'm not a game. You had said I'm not a game player. I was just correcting that. I just don't play fighting games.
You're right. I said the wrong thing. You're not. Let me put it. You're not a major fighting game player. Okay. You don't participate in many fighting game tournaments. No, you don't place high. But for you to butt into a thread like that where 99% of the people felt you were misinformed and you did not know what you were talking about forming an all-empire team, and for you to totally change the meaning of the thread and turn it towards Nestor and use something personal out of his personal life that you, and let's be honest, you knew that would have hurt him, what you said. Because you're still sore about the situation back in 2003 with the Marvel teams where Nestor was complaining about he was kicked off a team or whatever for Empire, which I could give two shits about. You brought out personal shit that did not belong in that thread. Now, you're telling me, your statement, that it's okay to give a really serious, personal, real-life insult to someone about what they said about Street Fighter. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, that's what you're trying to say. What I'm trying to say is this. If you insult me, I'm going to insult you. Whether my insult is more detailed than yours, it's not the point. If we're in a fight in the street,
hold on.
And you smack me in my face, and I pull out a knife and I stab you.
For a second.
The point is, you assaulted me.
Hold on for a second.
Go ahead, Bunker.
I don't know the whole situation behind the thread and everything. I don't. But I'll say this. I saw what was said regarding Nestor. And yes, I do agree that what was said was below the belt and not in line with everything that was said to that point, because it's one thing to talk about someone that's relating to the gaming scene. Like, hey, you're whack. You're whack at fighting games. You're whack at this, blah, blah, blah. But it's one thing but it's quite another to bring something out of someone's personal life that has nothing to do with video games, and only the select handful of people would know and throw that out there, because two wrongs don't make it right. That's one thing. Second of all, is like, if by doing that, this is my own opinion, TriForce Game Master, if you do that, all that does is it makes you look like that you can't be trusted with sensitive information, because now if I were to tell you sensitive information about myself and somehow down the line things sour, I wonder if you're going to use that information against me sometime down the line. If I'm making any sense.
Number one, the information was not told to me. The information in which I said online, I saw for myself. Just to put that out there, no one came to me and told me anything.
Okay, so you saw for yourself.
But information I saw for myself when I saw Nestor. So that's why that came about. I already knew. No one told me anything.
Well then, that being said, that really doesn't change the core of my point. My core of my point is...
You're right. No, the core of your point still stands. But I don't think you guys understand the core of the statement I made in the last radio show. I already admitted that what I had said was below the belt. Morally, it was wrong. X, Y, Z, A, B, C. This is the same problem I'm having right now that I had on the SRK thread. And everyone seems to be missing it.
Mm-hmm.
I had already understood what was said. Let me put it in fewer and clearer words. What I said was wrong. Why I said it was because Nestor did not mind his business, and he came on and insulted me. I don't care how he insulted me or what context he insulted me. He insulted me, period. So I hit him back. That's the difference. The difference is he slapped me, I punched him. The difference is he stabbed me, I shot him. The difference is he insulted me about video games, I insulted him about real life. The point I'm trying to make is, if he did not strike me first, I would not have struck him. I'm the type of person someone hits me, my wrath is 2 times as hard. It's that simple. I want everyone to understand that about me. All on the radio, recording me. That's how I am. Why? Because that's how people have made me to be. Where I come from, I don't let no one do any harm to me. And if you do, my wrath will be 2 times better.
So if a kid attacks you, so if a kid half your age attacks you, and you take out a gun and shoot him, you think that's fair?
No, if a kid now you're making circumstantial situations to weigh your point. If a child attacks me, I'm not going to pull out a gun and shoot him. I'm going to take the child to his parents and let the parents deal with them. Now, if a child pulls out a gun and tries to shoot me, which happens in reality, you have children who go around trying to kill people. True. I'm going to try to stop that child or kill the child to preserve my life.
Right.
Right.
Now, if someone my age slaps me, I'm going to punch them.
Okay.
It's different.
My point is this. I mean, I don't know like I said, I don't know the situation behind it, but I can say this much. From what I've read of what you said, I mean, it was, I don't know. There's a difference between calling someone a fag or calling someone a whack player and then saying something that only a few people would know.
The problem is I don't think you guys understand. You do understand I'm not disagreeing with you guys. You are following that, right?
I understand
you
that,
know that, right?
But the justification you're using, you
no,
can just
I'm not,
you could
I'm
take
not,
that.
Whoa.
No,
I'm not
hold on.
justifying.
Hold on. When you justify, well, let me tell you something. You know what? There's a saying. Hitler, the most evil people in the world never think of themselves as evil. They just think that if they do something bad, they can accomplish a greater good. You know what I'm saying?
Funny. That's real suggestive.
I'm not trying to say you're the evil person, but I'm saying is
Hitler.
You can I'm not saying that you're Hitler or comparing you to Hitler. What I'm saying is that if you do things bad, there's no such thing as doing something bad to accomplish
asked a question.
I
gave you an answer.
Okay.
You asked a question. I gave you an answer.
Right.
The answer isn't to justify anything. I explained this is why I said in the last radio discussion that I will not talk about it again. Because if I speak about it again, then I'm trying to justify what I did was wrong. Mm-hmm. I already said what I did was wrong, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I have my reasons why I did it. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys, and I don't think you guys are getting it. I'm not justifying it. I'm not giving you an excuse. The only reason why you even know why I did it is because you asked. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Remember, before I never explained it. Before I just told you I did it, I knew it was wrong, and I didn't care.
Isaiah,
the thing about it is, you might not care, but at the same time, I'm just saying from my perspective.
Oh, I know. I see your perspective, and I actually completely agree. It was a low blow. You know, that kind of did suck. You know, that was kind of messed up. And you know, and I have my reasons why I went on the low blow. But you know, I'm not on the receiving end of the low blow, and I do believe in karma. And, you know, it will come back around to me. It had hit me before. You know, when I first came to SRK, you had all types of guys talking about I masturbate and I do my wife up the ass with the power glove and all types of other stuff that was real low blow. And for 3 years, TriForce said nothing and took it all on SRK. From I'm some thug in the street. What's this kid's name? Alex Lightning, some guy he used to work in Web 2 Zone. He said, I tried to mug him, and me and the Empire were just a bunch of niggers and thugs. And he used the actual nigger in the thread, that we was about a bunch of niggers and thugs, and we tried to beat them down. And a lot of people try to discredit my name. DSP is one of them. And for 3 years, all TriForce did was try to answer back, answer back above the weight and try to keep things civil. You know, a lot of people, Shankar and Ataro and Jerron's like, ignore those fools, man. You have to remain professional and XYZ and all this other stuff. And I really tried, but I am human. And everyone knows that TriForce has been attacked for 3 years. And a lot of times it's unwarranted. There's a lot of people who try to attack me to make a name for themselves.
Okay, well the first thing I would say about that
I just said,
is that anybody that brings your wife into it, that's just as wrong. Okay. I think even DSP would have to.
That's not to justify. That's not to justify. Okay. That's to show that I've taken many under the belt too.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. I've taken here's an example. Look at the situation with Mike Watson and me. Me and Mike Watson, we had
cares
We
about
had
you
our
and Mike
little
watching?
thing.
You watch the beef at Evo. No one wants to hear it, man.
No. It's not. We're not talking about Evo. First of all, don't assume. I'm talking about this in terms. Me and Watson, we had issues that went to real life that could have gotten into some type of altercation. I saw Watson face to face. We talked at Evo. Everything got squared off. Even though there was some real, I'm like, you think the stuff with Nestor is bad? No, it's some real bad stuff. But me and him, man to man, faced each other. We had our discussion. We had a difference in words and whatnot. But in the ultimate end, we came to a resolution, and it was all fair and square, and it was all done. Now, what I'm trying to say is that I've taken some under the belt, and I've taken some on the chin. I didn't like them. I didn't like who gave them to me and whatnot. But ultimately, in the end, I worked out my differences. Now, TriForce makes one blow under the belt, and I guess this is how media works. All the good I do won't mean anything. It's that one bad you guys look for. Not you as per se as the media. I'm just saying when people are looking out to get something from you, that's what they do, the one bad. So the one low blow I gave Nestor is going to now obviously mark me as this deviant idiot who, he takes things out of context and whatnot and blah, blah, blah and all this other stuff. When you can ask anyone how many times people have gone under the belt with me, and those people aren't questioned. So to me, the way I looked at it, look, you know what these guys are after, TriForce. You know what these guys are going to try to do to you, whatever. And that day and at that moment, I just didn't care. So I just replied the way I felt. I replied, I'm human like anyone else. So if you guys are going to judge me off of that, that's fine. That's why I told you guys I already admit what I did.
Okay. All right. Then there you got it. There you have it.
Thank you.
All
I'm
right.
like
Can I finally
long-winded, but unfortunately. You have another question, DSP?
I have two questions for you, and then I'm actually done for the night.
Okay, shoot.
All right. So the first question is, you absolutely 100% admit that what you said about Nestor on SRK in that Third Strike Teams thread was under the belt and uncalled for and had nothing to do with that thread. You admit that?
I think I said that on the first radio show. Yeah, I did, and I'm saying it again. Yeah, I did on this one. Yeah. I'm confirmed.
Okay, so that's question number one, and this is question number two. And after this, you're off the hook, and I swear you're off the hook. Okay?
I'm off the hook. Wow, I didn't know I was on the hook. But go on.
But you were on the hook since you called in, brother. Okay? All right, the second question. Here's the second question. So you admit that you were out of line and you went under the belt and you did wrong when you made that insult about Nestor. Do you apologize to Nestor for what you said?
Oh,
yes
hell no. Are you serious? Is that a real question? Come on, give me the actual real question.
Hold on, guys. Hold on a second.
Call anyone else, because all we have is basically Isaiah admitting on radio in front of all the Street Fighter community that he can make under the belt comments that have nothing to do with anything discussed in any reason. And he can just say it whatever he wants, and he doesn't apologize.
I'll let him finish.
Hold on for a second on both sides. Hold on.
Well, you listening to...
All right.
All right, hold on. I just want to say something before anyone says anything. Now, you hear that, everyone on SRK listeners. TriForce consulted numerous times.
Okay, you're there now.
Hello? Yeah. I make an under-the-belt comment on one person, and DSP says, I justify myself to go around to make under-the-belt comments and reply at people off of one thing. Let this be a lesson to any of you guys who want to become pro fighters and so forth in the future. You have to be careful of how the media or your enemies will try to treat you. These guys will look for that one mistake you make, and when you make that one mistake, being sorry or atoning doesn't mean anything. This is something that I've learned in life. That doesn't mean anything.
So you admit,
cares. No one cares.
You're not sorry.
No. I just told you that for everything that everyone has done to me, that one day I just snapped and I said, look, I'm going to let him have a piece of my mind. I said what I said and I meant what I said. Then you just said that TriForce goes around and goes under the belt with anyone once I can't take nothing. No. One situation does not justify my entire behavior, DSP, and that's what you're trying to make it out to be. And that's what all guys like you try to make things out to be. To anyone who makes a mistake. Many people make mistakes out there. Kobe Bryant cheated on his wife. Does that make him a whore? Does he go and sleep with every other girl because he slept with one? Beat it, man. Get out of here with that. You're not talking to a kid, man. I went under the belt low with Nestor because I didn't like what he said. That's one time. I know a lot of things you do, really, a lot of things you do that's completely uncalled for, or consistently. That's why you're the king of hate, so to speak. And no one questions you. No one goes on the radio and tries to deframe your name. Deframe what name? You like your name deframed. That's what makes you the king of hate. So don't try to imply these little side remarks and all this other stupidness. Get out of here with that. If you have a real question, man, ask a real question. You are not dealing with a child. I don't care if I wear a power glove. If you haven't gotten, I wore a power glove because that's the marketing of my character, my company, idiot.
So, you know what? I had a whole radio show dedicated to hating on me, and it was by the owner of this radio station, and I had the balls to call in and defend myself. So for you to say that, number one, I don't like anyone, I'll just let anyone hate on me and that this hate is fake and blah, 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 you're wrong. That's just a persona I put on.
Did I say that?
At the time, I will not have people insult my personal life and my personal character over Street Fighter. Under no circumstances will I have that happen. So for you to come on this radio station, shut up. Talking. You got to let me finish. I listen to your bullshit, now you listen to mine. For you to come on this radio station to say that you did something wrong, you honestly admitted you did something wrong. You went out of your way to insult Nestor on a personal level.
He hung up. He hung up, DSP.
I'm sorry, Bunky. What are you saying?
He hung up.
Who hung? Isaiah hung up?
Yeah, the Game Master. Yeah, TriForce hung up.
What a pussy. All right, I'm going to say my statement quickly then. For Isaiah to get on this radio station and say that he did something wrong publicly in front of everyone, he admits that, making a personal insult on Nestor when it had nothing to do with what the thread was about. He admits that was wrong. Then he will not apologize. That's the same as a 5-year-old kid saying, I didn't know any better than what I did was wrong. And so we should all forgive TriForce. Guess what? TriForce is not 5 years old. He claims to be the leader of a major gaming community, and he doesn't know what's wrong and right. He doesn't know that when you do something wrong and you admit that you did something wrong, you should apologize for it. Then I don't want that person being a major influence in my gaming community. So, TriForce, get the fuck out of here. We do not want you in the Street Fighter community, and we never did. If you ever try to pull that shit again and make a personal insult against someone, we will expel you from this community, whether it's online or it's in person forcefully. This is my statement, and I'm sticking to it. If you make a personal insult about me, shit that you do not know the truth about in real life, I will make you pay for it in real life, since that's where you like to fucking stick your fucking dick where it doesn't belong.
Okay.
And I know you kind of agree with me, Bunky, because you know that what he said about Nestor was not right and it had nothing to do with that game.
I mean, I don't know about this. Hold on. Yo, you're on Alpha Radio. Who's this?
Yeah, you got Nestor online?
Huh?
Do you have Nestor online?
No. He's never been on the show.
Oh, he's never been on the show?
Mm-mm.
Oh. And DSP still talking?
I think he just got through.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hold on. You want me to repeat it for you because you weren't on the line, brother?
No, I don't have to repeat it, DSP. I already heard you. I don't
All right,
think
you know what I said. So you do not fucking talk about me or anyone else in real life. You understand me. Never bring that shit out. Because if you do, we will fucking find you. This is Street Fighter. This is not fucking personal shit that you bring out. You have insulted everyone in the community who has tried to put this together into a fighting game community that can be successful by
Because
pulling
I
out
low-blow
little
one guy who insulted me?
bullshit.
Oh,
Yes,
please, DSP.
one
You're
guy.
not the
That's how it
ambassador.
fucking
You're
starts.
not the ambassador
Not
of this
do
community.
what you
DSP, don't talk about you're going to come find me, DSP. You live in Jersey. Shut up. Stop that shit.
I don't even
Like,
live in Jersey, you dumb shit. You run the fucking
no,
major gaming community of the United States.
Wherever you live.
Where I live. Shut
Wherever you
the
live.
fuck up.
I'm like, DSP, listen to you making threats online. How you sound? Cut it out. Wherever you live, Boston, Connecticut, Maine, who cares?
Really?
I'm like,
really?
Don't talk about,
really,
don't talk, DSP. You're on the radio. Stop. I'm like, come on, let's be realistic, DSP. Cut it out. You're on the radio. I'm like, guys just try to punk you from the West Coast not too long ago. So don't act like you're hardcore, especially to me. Stop. If you're going to have a discussion on the radio, it's one thing to not agree on the same viewpoints, but don't, I'm going to find you, try to cut it out. Really, let's be realistic here. Stop it. All right? Now, back to the main point. You missed what I said. I understand what I did was wrong, and I already told you I admitted it. I already told you why I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize because I wanted Nestor to feel the same pain I felt when every time someone said, because that's me. It was under the belt. If I felt that that's the only way it was going to get to him under the belt, then that's the way I felt. There's a lot of people that do things in life. You have to be realistic with yourself and realistic with life on DSP. This is not kindergarten. You're talking, listen to what you just said. You're trying to talk to me like I'm some fourth grade kid. Whenever you do something wrong, TriForce, and you know it, you got to apologize. You can't go around doing anything. Realistically, DSP, that does not work in life. It doesn't work like that, man. I don't know what to tell you. Huh?
Are you done? I'm waiting
done.
for you to finish, talking your bullshit.
Oh, boy. So what is the point of this?
The point is to tell you that you will, under no circumstances, go around saying whatever you want anymore. Yes, there's freedom of the United States of America, but there's a very fine line drawn between freedom of speech and personally insulting someone.
Usually that freedom of speech...
You will not go around my community saying whatever the fuck you want. You will not insult people who have never done anything to you.
I will not...
Do you understand me?
So you're trying to say that what I did to Nestor was completely unprovoked. I just did it because I had nothing else to do with my time on SRK. That's what you're trying to suggest, right?
You took your anger from about 3 to 4 years worth of hate on the Empire, and you directed it towards one person that maybe deserved 1,000th of that hate. And you're trying to justify that that's correct.
I wasn't trying to justify anything. You're trying to say I'm justifying. I already explained to you I wasn't trying to even give an excuse. I already admitted that it was wrong. You stop saying I'm trying to justify. Stop trying to paint the picture. Let me show you what the real picture is.
Oh my God! You've told us what the real picture is 100 times, and we don't want to.
Then why do you keep trying? Then why do you try to keep repainting the picture?
Because
stop saying, under no circumstances you're going to ever say again.
Realize,
if I say it again, DSP, what are you going to do?
Shut
What
up.
are you going to do?
People realize that people do something wrong, they admit they did it wrong, and they apologize. For some reason, you think you're above everyone else, and when you do something wrong, you don't have to apologize for it.
No, I don't.
Still.
It's just that one circumstance. I don't want to apologize to them
because
I'm tired of the BS.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you never did anything wrong.
Hold on. This part of it is over because you can't. I mean, DSP, you can't force him to apologize.
Exactly. What is wrong with him?
So it's a useless gesture, you can't tell him that, okay, you cannot say this ever again. I mean, you can't say that to him because he can say whatever he wants. Now, if you want you to do something about it, that's one thing. Hey, that's on you. That's your business. But, you just can't say to somebody, you cannot say that. Like I said, to be objective about it, there might have been shit. From what I read in the RC channel, some people have said some shit about, I didn't even know up until that comment was made. I didn't even know that Game Master was married. And to say that, to say some of the shit about him and his wife, I think that's just as equally as uncalled for. You know.
But no, hold on. But no, wait, don't get that twisted because Nestor never said anything about my wife.
I know
What
I know he didn't. I'm just saying is that that there's been shit that's been said from both
to
sides.
me,
And
just
I
as
mean, because I don't
equally.
think it's just you versus Nestor. I think
No, it
it's
isn't.
I mean
No,
I
that's
think
why
it's
DSP
you
said what
versus
he
a group
said.
of other people. I mean, so you know.
It's like me versus SRK, and unfortunately, Nestor's comment just made me snap, and of all that rage hit him. And like DSP just said, like, oh, Nestor didn't deserve that. He probably deserved 1/10 of it. And I'm trying to explain to him, shit happens. Shit happens. To be very honest with you, shit happens. If DSP wants me to say who did that rage, where did that rage, who's it really directed for? To be honest with you, it's directed to SRK in general and for all the people that really hate me, for whatever their reasons are. To be very honest with you, that much I will say. I won't say that when I said it to Nestor, it was solely meant for him. And it's just the frustration builds up over a period of time. For me, it took about 3 years.
Honestly,
I'm like, good shit.
okay, I think that both sides have said their piece. I think we should just leave it at that.
All right.
I mean, you guys have said your pieces over and over again. If the point has been made, and maybe down the line this shit can get squashed too.
No, let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that and say that less than an hour, well, actually a little bit over an hour ago, Jim Master was on the same radio station. He knew he did something wrong, and he admitted it, and he apologized. I respect him immensely. But for the same situation, someone to come online and admit they did something wrong, and then say that they're not sorry for doing it, that's the wrong kind of person to be leading any kind of a community, and that's why people will never take Isaiah seriously, period.
Okay. All right.
Any more questions?
No. I mean, actually, the only thing I can say is thank you for coming on the radio station and to answer some criticism. That's basically all I can say. And DSP, thanks. Thanks for the good topic on it. I mean, this is another topic that's gotten a lot of talk about, and I think that both of you guys said your piece on it, and I think we should just leave it at that.
Hey, man, I'll leave it at that, but all I'm going to say is what I started with. Isaiah, you know the deal. You make another personal insult about myself, about Nestor, about anyone else I'm friends with, and you will be in trouble. And I'm not lying to you. You saw me at CPF. You fucking ran away from me. You played Super Turbo by yourself. You didn't say a word. You didn't say a word to me at Evolution. And you know you don't want to say a word because you're afraid that if you say something to me in real life, something's going to happen. Well, guess what? Something will fucking happen if you say some bullshit about me. So you learn your fucking lesson, you keep your dick between your legs like the little pussy you are, and you run your little faggot group of people. Because if you ever personally insult myself and Esther again, you're done. You fucking understand me?
Okay, it's done. It's done. All right.
Yo, you hear this? Oh, no, don't worry. I'm not gonna dignify his response with none of that eat dog garbage. I'm just saying, you're hearing to this guy. This guy is threatening me on radio. This is real great. That's some good shit, DSP. Good shit. But do you have any more questions? Because if you don't, I'm sure the guy would like to.
I mean,
as
far as that's concerned, yeah. I mean, we're through as far as the questions are concerned.
All right, cool. All right. See you guys later.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thanks for coming on the radio.
All right.
Bunky, I apologize. I really do.
I mean, it was. I mean, it was a cool argument and debate until it started turning personal. I mean, because you got to be careful with that shit though, because if he wanted to be an ass about it, and if he wanted, I mean, like this shit could be recorded, man. And I mean, if something happens to him, and you say all this shit on the radio, that shit can't come back on you. And as small the chance that might be happening, you know that's true. I wouldn't. I mean, I just wouldn't do that. Because I mean, first of all, all it is like it's like a kindergarten type of fight. I'm gonna kick your ass after school if you know. Blah, blah. I mean, it's just not worth it. It's not worth going through all of that for. I mean, look. This is how I feel. I feel that what was said was wrong, but I also feel that it's not the entire story either. Who knows the entire story? I mean, that's no, it's fine. Okay.
Yo, Ben, can you
Okay, I
hear me?
do. But
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't.
All right.
Okay,
All
I
right.
really don't mean to get like that. I'm sorry, man. It's just that people like that who think they can say whatever the fuck they want anywhere, they really piss me off. And he knows better to say shit about me, so he starts to talk shit about people who knows they can't. They won't defend themselves. Nestor is such a nice guy. He knows that Nestor won't go up to him in real life and fucking beat his ass for what he says. So that's why he says it. That's why he picked Nestor out of all the people who said negative shit about him in that thread. That's what really pisses me off.
I understand that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you're not, you know, that there's no justification for you being mad. I mean, I think there is. I mean, I read a comment. I don't know Nestor from Adam. You know, I think the comment was under the belt. You know, but at something like this, um, I mean, like I said, it's like it's just the same. There's one side, there's the other side, and there's the truth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what I'm going to say about it is the comment was uncalled for, but I mean, like again, I wouldn't take it so far as to start saying if you say some shit about me about because if anything happens to that dude, even if it has no relation to you, anything happens to that dude, I mean, and someone happened to have a recording of this, look what DSP said. You know, this dude basically threatened him on radio. I mean, I don't want that shit. I just don't want that shit coming because that I mean it can turn real ugly. You had a friend that was shot that was in the Street Fighter community. You know, not to say it's gonna go that far, but you know what? I know by the experience that shit can go that far, and it's not worth it. Over what? You know, not even a comment as bad as that one. That's not worth it. You know, it's better. You know what? Something like that. For some people, like he believes in karma. I don't believe in karma, but I do believe that you reap what you sow, and I do believe that when you know, if you pee on the electric fence, you eventually gonna get electrocuted. You know, so I do think that if he continues doing shit like that, then eventually there's gonna be consequences for that. You know, but don't put yourself in the middle of it. You know, I mean, I don't want. I'm not gonna, make this into a whole bitch out session about Game Master because I mean I don't know the guy. I mean I just know what was said, and I try to keep that in mind because people have a habit of saying things from their own point of view, even if it's something that's true. You can manipulate things to make them mean something that it really isn't. That's just life. So
Right. But again, that wasn't what happened. He didn't manipulate anything. He knew what he was saying, and that's
well,
why
yeah,
he
he
said.
did. He did. I'm not saying he didn't say it, and I'm not saying he didn't mean it the way that you read it, but I'm just saying I mean, it's like something like that. You know what? You're mad. I think you're more frustrated for the fact that he's not going to apologize for it. You know,
He should.
hey. I might
Publicly.
be inclined to agree, but you know what? It's nothing like that. You know, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next year, patch up things with Nestor. You never know. Because if I would have asked you yesterday, hey, you think you and Jim Master be cool? You probably say, probably not. But it happened.
Me? I would say that.
I mean, I don't know. You might say yes, we probably could, but what I'm saying is that you just never know. You know, bridges get burnt and rebuilt all the time, especially in the
Nah.
Street Fighter community.
Yo, Isaiah is a double talker. He's like our president. He'll say in one sentence that something he did was wrong, and then in the next sentence he'll say, "Oh, but it was for the greater good, and I'm not sorry about it." Bullshit. If you do something wrong, you will apologize for it, and you will be held accountable for it. Now, the president can't be held accountable because he rules our fucking country, but I'm sorry. Someone like TFGM should be held accountable.
I mean, well, okay, yeah, I believe that when people do things wrong, they should be held accountable. I mean, but that I mean, but that's not me, and that's not you. I mean, unless we're not. I mean, it's not like he's your child. You know, you can't spank him on the butt for doing something like that. I mean, if you're gonna take it in your own hands, then nothing good gonna come out of there. except jail time or something like that. I mean, if it gets that serious, I mean, for something like that, you just gotta hope that at some point in the future that it all get, all gets resolved. I mean, that's all you really can do.
You know, how sad is the state of our country? We just had a guy who, his daughter, his 2-year-old daughter, came up to his wife and said, "Our next door neighbor abused me." The next door neighbor was a pervert. This guy was constantly standing in the window naked. He was known for being a pervert in the neighborhood. And the girl goes up to her mother and says, "This guy, I went next door one day and he tempted me with candy and he grabbed my vagina or whatever." And the guy, the father was so enraged, he went next door with a butcher knife and he cut the fuck out of the guy who was dead. And now he's in jail and he's going to be on trial for grand murder because he killed this guy who abused his child. What the fuck kind of a do we live in where someone can get away with a dirty deed, completely 100% proven that they're wrong? This guy, Isaiah, admitted he's wrong, and we have no recourse to punish him. What the fuck kind of a society do we live in, man?
Because you know what you're talking about is vigilantism, and being vigilante justice may seem right at first, but as with anything, it can be abused because that same father might decide that he want to kill that dude's entire family instead of just him. Instead of killing a child molester, he'll burn the house down and kill everybody inside of it, and probably won't even feel bad about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can take anything too far. You know, I mean, like I said, anything can be abused, anything can be taken too far, and I mean, I've actually, it's kind of funny you brought that up because I've had arguments about people who think that that punishment should be decided by, the family of the victim or the family that's affected. I mean, I've had arguments like that. So.
I don't know, man. And people online right now are comparing and saying, "Oh, this is not the same situation, and DSP is being ridiculous." In that case, where the guy killed the next door neighbor did not outright admit he did wrong. In this case, Isaiah did admit he 100% did wrong, and we have no recourse. We have no way to make him pay. So that's what I'm really peeved about. We have someone who's so arrogant, thinks he's so important in a community where, honestly, no one gives a shit what he says. He thinks he can go around and say whatever he wants about anyone, and he can get away scot-free, and that's bullshit.
Well, at the same point, though, at the same point, it's just like with anything. You can't take what everybody say personally, and that's the hard part for everybody, including myself. You can't take what somebody say personally, and to the point where it causes you to become bitter because then you letting that person win. I mean, so far he made a comment. Do I think his ass should be beat over a comment? No, I don't think so. I don't think so because you know what? It's not worth it. It really is not worth it. It's not worth getting him beat up and then somebody go to jail, or if something happens and he's permanently injured or dead, or the thing about he's married, probably got kids. We don't know. I mean, it's just like I'm saying is when people take things in their own hands, take things into their own hands, shit normally gets out of control and stuff happening they did not intend on happening. But just like when the original wrong was done, it's irreversible. I think that for him, for the situation between you and Game Master, I think that what the thing about it is, unless I don't know how often you talk to Nestor, but if Nestor is not making a big deal out of it, then neither should you. If yeah, I mean, oops.
Sir did make.
All right, I think this.
Anyway, his whole argument was that, Nestor already talked shit about Isaiah. Whatever. Nestor did not talk personal shit about Isaiah. What he said was bullshit about a Marvel team tournament at the 2003 Evolution. That's a lot different than bringing out personal shit. Period. Christian's argument is not valid.
But my argument is different. My argument is this: if Nestor's not making a big deal out of it, why are you making a big deal?
Because, again, and I said this a million times, Nestor's my close personal friend, even outside of games, and he's not the kind of person to make us think about it, because he does not, he knows he's not going to get up in someone's face in real life. He knows he can't do that.
But here's the thing about it is, okay, given all that what he just said, still the point of the matter is, he's not making a big deal out of it. He's moved on. You got to move on too, because there's nothing you can do about it. You can't force him to apologize. You cannot force him to see your point of view. And getting up in his face about it and getting a physical altercation, that's not going to help either, because you still ain't going to get an apology out of him.
What is to stop Isaiah from doing the same thing to anyone else?
Nothing. Nothing. You can't control what people say. I can't. You can't. I mean, nobody can.
So it's okay to let someone like him go ahead and say whatever they want about anyone.
I didn't say it's okay, but I say that you...
the entire community.
But it's not... I'm not saying it's okay, but you can't control what other people do. And you can't be the right arm of justice and think that you can punish people according to what you think is right and wrong. You can't do that. Nobody can. Not one person. I mean, that's just the whole thing. My point of it, it'd be a little bit different if Nestor was having a serious problem with it. But if he's moved on, you move on too. It's over. It's done. Because, the thing about it is, you really only hurting him by keeping it up. Because now you keep on bringing it up. Let the shit die. Because if you keep on bringing it up, all you're doing is hurting Nestor. Because people keep on hearing this shit over and over again, and they keep on talking about it over and over again.
Yeah. At Evolution, I talked to Nestor, and he said to me that he really, really wanted me to make TriForce apologize. Because even though he doesn't talk about it, and even though he doesn't go online or go on the radio and talk about it, shit does get to him. And at Evolution, I made it a point not to do that, because someone really talked a lot of sense into me and told me if you do it at Evolution, you have a high chance of getting arrested, and it's not worth it. Well, I think tonight, even though he did not apologize, at least this radio show gave me the opportunity to show what kind of a person he really is, and that he does not care about others. He only cares about himself. He feels like he can say and do whatever he wants, and that's not the kind of person we want in charge of any kind of a community.
Okay.
So
that's a fair statement. That's a fair statement. That's a fair statement. But again, you know what? The thing about it is, just let it die. And if Nestor was on here, I'd tell him the same thing, because you can't force him. You cannot force an apology out of anybody. And even if you could force an apology, it wouldn't be genuine. So what would be the point?
No,
it has to be a genuine apology, and he has to want to apologize.
Yeah, and that's what you want out of him, but you're not going to get that. So it's like, it's time to move on.
Yeah, it's time to move on and just screw it and move on.
It's not something I should hang on forever. You're absolutely right. But just the fact that he was on the radio, and it was the first time that we had him in public talking about this, I felt like I had to bring it out, into the open. If he's on again, I won't even bring it up, because there's no point. We know he admitted wrong, and we know that he's not man enough to apologize for when he does something wrong. So why keep bringing up the point? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from this day forward, DSP, just drop it and forget it. Let's go. Move on. No need to talk about it anymore, you know what I mean?
Yo, are you outside? You're, breaking up. It sounds like there's cars driving by you.
Yeah, I'm driving, man. What's up, my niggas?
Oh, no.
How's all the niggas?
What is
niggas
that?
And niggas.
Jamaica, man.
The niggas and niggas.
DSP, Mr. Hate. Ben, Mr. Ben. Uncle Ben. And Rice.
Uncle Ben,
I like
Rice. Yeah,
I like that.
Coming.
Uncle Ben.
Yeah, I like that. I've heard that so many times. I've heard that so many times. Let me tell you something. Right now, there's almost 50 people listening right now, so this definitely was something to tune into. And I don't think this was the worst night of radio. I think that if anything, this just shows that people like drama. That's one thing it shows, and that's the one thing you was right about. This people do love drama.
Yeah, they like drama.
But at the same time, though, I think that it's interesting because DSP, I think you brought one good point, and that is, it's interesting. You solved one debate, you solved one beef, but another beef is still unresolved. But just like I said, any beef can be squashed. Build, in the SRK community, bridges are burnt and rebuilt almost all the time. And I mean, it just happens because the thing about it is, and it's something that I have a problem with. One thing about it is, I don't forgive easily. I get that from my mom. I don't forgive easily. That's why I haven't talked to my dad since, up until 3 nights ago. I haven't talked to him in about 9 months because the dude, you know, did not help me out when I really needed to. I needed someone to co-sign for my apartment so I can get my own place. He refused to do it. He refused to ask his wife about it. My stepmom. And for that, I was severely pissed. And even now, I'm still just a little bit pissed about it. A little bit because I got my own place anyway. Even though that is in jeopardy, but still, that's besides the point. It's just, but at the same time though, I realized that anger like that, all that does is, he ain't angry about it because I mean he didn't sound like he was really sorry. Because part of people being angry is they hope that if they keep a grudge, they can make the person remorseful about it. But that doesn't really make it. It really doesn't make sense. It doesn't happen that way.
Anger doesn't solve anything.
Huh?
Doesn't solve anything, but it's good to be angry.
I mean, it's good to be angry because
emotional and angry, events, whatever.
Because okay. I mean, but my anger is because I don't think my father has changed. Like I told people all the time. I mean, it's kind of funny. You guys know more about my personal life than some of the people I worked with. Every day. I mean, but I honestly thought that he changed, and he really hasn't changed. It shit has to be done his way, and I still believe that to be the case. And it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around that and still be a nice good son to him. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to do both of that because the dude is selfish. The dude only wants to get only does shit when it's in his benefit. That is an undeniable fact because I can tell you 50 different instances where it has happened that way.
I guess his attitude is if it doesn't help him and it doesn't benefit him, then fuck it, right? Who cares about other people?
I mean, what? It's even more than that.
There's people like that, though.
Right. But see, the thing about it is, usually when people are selfish like that, usually they're not selfish to the point where they will let their youngest child almost freeze to death. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my whole point is because, I told him that. He's like, oh, I didn't know things were that bad. He's like, whose fault is that? And I said, and how can you not know? You saw what happened in that house. I didn't see you trying to take me, maybe, make some arrangements for me to go somewhere warm. He didn't. It's like you was all gallywhacking and fucking people. I mean, like I said, dude, it's like, is there a time when you don't think about fucking? It's like, seriously. I'm like, I can name 20 people that I know you have hit it. Every female that I've seen you with, I know for a fact that you hit it. You slept with people in your own church. Upstanding members of the congregation, you slept with them too. And he was an elder / deacon in the church. I mean, I'm just saying, it goes on and on and on. But the problem is, the dude, that's how he is. He don't give a shit unless it benefits him. He don't care, and that's life.
So your dad is who? Like TriForce?
No. TriForce is nothing like my dad. That's me. I don't see TriForce.
That doesn't
despite what TriForce said or whatnot, I don't see him doing what my dad did. I don't see him doing that. I don't think he would do some of the shit. I don't think he does. I mean,
yeah.
And TriForce, he's gonna be selfish until one of two things happens: either he's so selfish that someone close to him gets hurt, or he's so selfish that someone walks up to him and literally slaps the fuck out of him in real life. And the question is, it's inevitable one's going to happen. I wonder which one's going to happen first.
Well, violence breaks out of that. Somebody's going to jail.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what's happening.
Ski Sonic wanted to say that that he has no affiliation with Empire whatsoever. He's a neutral party that was calling how he see it. He's not a big,
Of course.
All right. So I mean,
No,
he
that's why
wanted
it's
that
like-
said. He's not Empire. He's not defending Empire. He doesn't want to be Empire, and he's not even friend with TriForce Game Master. But he just called based on what he saw tonight on the radio. He wanted that to be said.
And that's why with one sentence, his argument, and I don't even remember what his argument was.
I think his argument was that you can't. He said that you saying that he made a personal attack on Nestor, but you're doing the same thing to him by threatening him to beat him up. That's what he was trying to say. Which he has a point.
Yeah, threatening not cool either. Actually, if he wanted to, TriForce can actually call the police and have him arrest you right now. Because you threatened him on the radio.
He can have me arrested. What he can do is he can have a restraining order put against me where I can't go near him for so-and-so.
But it's still considered a terrorist threat, saying that you're going to beat his ass and all that.
But my point about it is, if anything happens to him, what is if even it has nothing to do with you, if he slips and falls and busts his head, but look like someone hit him in the head, I mean, if they go back, well, that can come back to you. That's my whole point. Like weird shit like that has happened before,
I mean, if you say, the words, if you say those words, that's it. Terrorist threat. Go to jail. Felony.
Let him slip and
They'll
fall.
probably drop it down to a misdemeanor, but it's still, you can't just openly say stuff like that. You're gonna threaten someone, you're gonna beat someone up, or you're gonna kill them or whatever.
Dude, I blatantly on the radio. The only time that I would do something is if he had said something ridiculously, personally insulting to me. There's no proof that he has. If he falls and busts his head, I would love to see him try to sue me. Best Buy tried to sue me three times, their money back, and they failed, and they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. So I would love to see his guy try to fucking sue me and get anything out of me.
But my point is,
people are always gonna insult each other, though. I mean, that's part of life.
You're saying that you're willing, that you're going to beat him up if he says something bad about you. I mean, that's what it boils down to. If that's the case, you're going to be in a whole lot of fights because people are going to say shit regardless. And
people talk shit all the time.
I mean,
everyone
that's
gets
not
shit talked on. You know what I mean? What Nestor needs to do, I guess, maybe is be strong or something. Don't let shit affect him.
No, let's be honest. It really is a lose-lose situation, and that's why Isaiah said what he said. Why he did that. He knew he could get away with it, and there's no way that there'll ever be repercussions for what he said. He knew that in our society today, he can say whatever he wants, and if someone comes and makes him pay for it, well, guess what? We go to jail, and he doesn't give a shit. That's why he said it. He's the lowest form of fucking life. He's the biggest pussy on the planet, and that's why he did it. Alright, man, Bunky, I fucking ruined your radio show tonight. I know I did, so I'm going to take off, man. I got work in the morning.
Alright, man, you have a good night.
Alright, man, I'm going to hit this off. Thanks for having me on, by the way, and letting me ask the questions I wanted to ask the Damon, because I think that at the very least, getting the shit and the beef between me and Jim Master done, I think that was worth the whole radio show.
Yeah, I do too. I agree with you on that.
Alright, man, have a good night.
So Ben, do you remember our?
Hello? Hello? Ah, shoot. Skype crashed on me again. Oops, I forgot. I gotta dial his number. Hold on.
Hello?
Hey, I'm sorry. Skype crashed on me.
Well, what's up?
Hey, I'm sorry about that. Skype
What?
crashed on me.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to, when people attack people, that's not the normal part of life, dude. Just like, how people attack me with, studio traffic. It's just something you just, take in and then you move on. Unless they're, I don't know what the deal is with them or what the insult was, but this shit, they just need to move on. There's no need for, like, forcing an apology out of someone. I mean, I'm sure everyone remembered Watson and TriForce, right? I was there between TriForce and Watson when they talked about, an apology. Like TriForce didn't apologize. So, Watson and him, I guess they're not cool anymore or whatnot, but they both moved on. No need. There's no need to dwell on this anymore. DSP, he needs to stop about the threat because if he wants to go to jail, man, he can go to jail for it. Even if you say, oh, man, you know what, you better fucking not do shit to me or I'm going to kill you or whatnot. You say kill or whatever, that's it, you go to jail.
That's true. That's true. It can't go that far. And I mean, oh, man. But at least it hasn't been a boring night.
Yeah, I'm really happy that you got a lot of listeners tonight, wanting to listen to what's going on. Cool. But remember, before I hung up with you, when I was telling you about me, Alex, and like his girlfriend and Sung Lee was in the room, and we were just like chilling, and I just whipped it out like crazy.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I'm known for whipping it out because I'm not afraid. I think Watson's seen it too one time. It was at a tournament. I just went boom. Everyone like turned around and Watson's all like, "Hey, Duck, how come you're you're not like circumcised?" Besides, but anyways, sometimes you gotta have some serious topics. Watson said that to me like weeks later. He's like, "Hey, dude, I remember that shit." I was like, "Hey, he's not circumcised." That's what he said to me. I was like, "Oh, okay, so you actually got a good look at it. That's cool."
Alright, I'm not gonna touch that. I can't.
Huh?
I'm not gonna touch that, man. That's a trap right there. I ain't gonna. It's like
No, it looks, and one of my like ex-girlfriends from the past.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't know if you know what uncircumcised dicks and circumcised dicks look like, but I think uncircumcised dicks, they look like the trunk of Snuffleupagus of Sesame Street. So I had a pet name, Snuffleupagus. It was crazy, but
Oh my God. All you need to do is put some eyes on it, and you'll be good. Yeah.
No, yeah. Get the black marker and draw some eyes on the freaking like the balls or something, and hang your dick upside down. They'll look like a nose and two eyes.
Wow.
I don't know, man. I guess tonight's topic was cool. I got to listen in on some from two intelligent people.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Again,
and I guess on a serious note, I mean, I guess you gotta end the night though with something funny. You can talk something serious, say something serious, and then end it with something funny. That's how maybe your radio station should be, man. Something serious in the beginning and then funny at the end. Or something funny in the beginning, something serious in the middle, and then funny at the end.
I agree with
Make
that.
that
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? So that was just a random fact that I threw out about myself. I guess it was funny, hopefully. And I'm about to go to McDonald's and get some food, and then head on home and want some help, like some nip tuck, and then call it a night.
All right, man.
All right?
All
So
right.
we'll talk again, Ben.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Later, man.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Well. Well, if anyone has anything to say, the number is 425-738-6216. Or if you got Skype, and it's free if you don't have it already, and you got a microphone or headset, call. You can message me at Bunkei1, B as in boy, UNKEI 1. If not, I think we're done for tonight on the radio. If you wonder if I taped this all, yes, I did, and it will be up by tomorrow morning. All right, people. So I'll just wait here a few minutes just in case someone wants to call in. If not, I think it is about done. It is about a wrap. Man, two good radio shows back to back. Can't complain about that. Kai,
What's up, Bunk?
what's up, man?
Just calling in because I don't want you to sleep yet.
What?
Yeah, man, I can't allow you to get normal sleep. What the fuck?
Oh shoot! I guess I'm out of luck. What do you think of the radio tonight?
I wasn't even around, man. I was fucking playing Quake 2.
Oh damn! You know what? Forget you, man. I can't believe you wasn't around, man.
Yo, I'm sorry, man. I just, I'm just fucking always doing shit. And then I came back to my computer and I was like, oh, let me play some Quake because somebody asked me to. I'm sorry. Next time I won't do that. Did I miss anything important?
Important, probably not. Funny, insightful, interesting, yes. Like I said, there's no digital attorney.
Oh yeah, what happened with that? Because I was hearing that it's over, basically.
It wasn't enough time, for the promoting and the marketing part of it. So they figured that it's not going to be a huge turnout, so they scrapped it.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that was definitely a problem because it's not like they're just doing a random 20 on the side. This is like big for them. Like they got StarCraft, Worldcraft 3 and all that other shit already set up, so they couldn't just throw that in.
Well, hopefully they'll get it in from the start next year, and and they'll do better with it, and it'll actually happen this time.
Yeah, and like they can't rely on other people doing that shit, or if they are gonna do it, they can't like rely on like SRK because SRK is trying to do their own shit now. They don't want to do what other people's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just need to get like they got like all this fucking time to do it. They were talking about it before the Evo. They shouldn't have relied on SRK doing it right after fucking Evo because they probably didn't want to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can understand. I mean, it's interesting though because I never. I mean, I wish that it was done. I wish it would happen this year. That's basically what I'm trying to get to because I'm impatient. I mean, it's sad we gotta wait all the way up until next year before we see a tournament like that. So
I don't know, man. Maybe we can push for some other place. I don't think we try hard enough. I don't think we try to get venues or anything like that. We always try to do our own side shit, but we don't try to see if we can like get some real fucking additions to these other big tournaments that go on. They have space and they can fucking. They saw people interested. I'm sure they'll throw something up.
well, here's the thing: DSP, Gen Master, and and X3O, Damon, they were on the line. Gen Master and DSP kind of squashed their beef, and the idea is for them to put their heads together and thought about making a really big tournament, a really big tournament, something that rivals the size of Evo. And
That'd be cool, man. I'll support that.
Yeah, I told them that if they would do that, that I would, whatever name they decide on, I will buy the domain name. I will host their website. I will even cover on the radio, and if it's possible, I'll even webcast it through my server.
See, that'd be nice right there.
I mean, that's like trying to show my support for it. So, I mean, and it's just, I mean, I know we can do it. We can pull our resources, because I mean, this dude in Dallas, this dude Jeff in Dallas got, a big Tekken tournament going at McDonald's. You got
God damn. See, that was a smart choice to go with somebody like that.
McDonald's and Coca-Cola sponsoring his tournament. I'm like, so if he can do it, we can do it.
Yeah, they're always looking for publicity and ways to spread. You know how they are with the fucking hip hop culture. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind getting the video game culture too.
That's right, 'cause young people is the bling bling.
For real, it's not just fucking online RPGs that get these fucking food corporations either. You know how like EverQuest got like Pizza Hut and shit like that.
Man.
See, that was an awesome idea, McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I hope that if we do put our head together and get a tournament, big tournament going, that we find some sponsors and the more exposure, the better.